Hello everyone, welcome to the Mifratech. Today we are discussing a HTML session 3. In the last two sessions we have discussed about what are the basics of HTML and how the tags and the meta attributes and many more works. Today we will discuss many other topics. HTML backgrounds. By default your web page background is in a white color. As you see, in previous session we have executed the HTML, created a HTML page and we have executed the web page. In that the background is in a white color. Now you may not like it, but don't worry now. HTML provides you a following of two good ways to decorate your web page background by giving a background color. There are two ways: HTML background with colors, HTML background with images. Let's first see HTML background with colors. And it is defined as in a BG color. The background color attribute is used to control the background of an HTML element, specifically page body and table backgrounds. And you can see a syntax here: the tag name, background color and the color value. You can see, you can refer here for the example. Inside the body, the comment has been shown, the format 1, use color name. So for table 1, the table BG color is equals to yellow, width is equals to 100%, the size has been setted, and for another one, the format 2, the another comment, the another table, the background color was some unique code that we refer in as CSS, and same the width has been set to 100%. The following output has been shown here. The background is yellow and this background is sky blue. And next, HTML background with images. The background attribute can also be used to control the background of an HTML element. Specifically, page body and the table backgrounds, you can specify an image to set background of your HTML page or table. By defining, you can see the code, you will better understand now. Inside the body, you can see a table background, images, the GIF, the GIF has been entered, width is 100 and the height is 100. This background is filled up with the HTML image. Here the image with the background color has been shown. It represents a background with the images. The tag name, where should be which tag is representing the image, and the image URL, and the color you must specify. And next, HTML colors. Colors are very important to give a good look and feel to your website, especially when you are creating a website or when you are creating a web pages or any form or anything. You refers to a colors first. Oh, this color is nice. So here also in HTML we has to look a preferable color and a better look for a website. So we use the colors. You can specify a colors on a page level using a body tag, or you can set colors for an individual tag using a background color attribute. You can specify within the body which color you want, or there is another option called as an individual tags, where you can see here Here they are specified in individual tags for this table. This background is yellow and another table. This background is sky blue. The body tag has the following attributes which can be used to get different set colors. Background color, text, a link, v-link. Background color sets a color for the background of the page. And a text sets a color for the body of text. A link sets a color for active links or a selected links. Where you have given a link sector, there you can set a color. Normally it should be in black. You can set a color to highlighting. Link sets a color for the linked text. V-link sets a color for visited links. This helps where the page has been visited earlier. So we can use the V-link. Next, HTML color coding methods. There are following 3 different types where you can set color names. You can specify the color names directly like a green, blue, red, black, yellow, etc. And a hexa codes, a 6-digit code representing an amount of a red, green, blue that makes you up the color. Here we have seen in previous BG color, there is a 6 code, hexadecimal code, hexa codes. We have seen, we can set like that. Color decimal or percentage values, where RGB, we can take an RGB and we can specify some amount percentage of that, and we can specify from that also. Next, we will learn up to an HTML fonts. Here in several web pages, or most of all web pages, fonts play an important role in making a website for more user friendly and increasing a content readability. Font face colors depends entirely on the computer and the browser that is being used to view your page, but you can use HTML font tag to add style, size, color to text on your website. You can use a base font tag to set all of your text to that same size, face and color. Here normally we will use a font style to set a style. For a style we have seen a previous section, and for overall width and height we use width and height section. Here we will use a separate one like a font tag. The font tag is having a 3 attributes called size, color and a face. To customize your fonts, to change any of font attributes at any time with your web page, you can easily modify with that. Simply use a font tag, that's it. It's a simpler way, and we can modify in any time. If we are testing in a web pages, once the red color font was not well, we can change it to immediately we can update it. The text that follow will remain changed until you close with the font. This is not an empty tag. Font is not an empty tag. It is an opening and a closing tag. You can change one or all the font attributes with the one font tag. If you change in one font tag, it will automatically update to which overall you have mentioned the all text or a paragraphs or a division tag or a tables. It will change automatically. Setting on a font size, here is an example. You can set content font size using a size attribute. The range of accepted value from a 1, that is the smallest, and the 7, it is the largest. The default size of a font is 3. In most of all websites, the default font size is 3. We can set 1, 2, 3 up to 7. The 7 is the largest one. Here you can see relative font size. You can specify how many sizes larger or how many sizes smaller that a preset font size should be. You can specify it like a font size is equals to plus n. The n refers to a numbers, or minus n, or we want an additional font, or we have to a smaller font, like that. Setting font face. You can set a font face using a face attribute, but be aware that if the user viewing the page does not have the font installed, they will not able to see it. Instead of user will see a default font face applicable to the user's computer. The setting a font face is a simple way, but when the users or when the testers as the font is not installed in your computer, when we set any other language, that the language has not been installed, it will take up to the default font face. But we have designed to a my own font face, so we can make changes, or it has been to a default font face also. Setting in a font color. We can set up any font color you like using the color attribute. It's so simple. You can specify the color that you want by either color name or hexadecimal code for that color. I previously told that. The base font. The base font is supposed to set a default font size, color or a typeface for any parts of the document that are not otherwise contained with the font tag. You can use the font elements to override the base font settings. The base font tag also takes color, size, face attributes, and it will support relative font setting by the giving a size of a +1 for a size larger or -2 for the size smaller. Next, we will study about the HTML forms. All you know what is form will be, you have filled with many forms that are especially designed from the HTML web pages, or we can design in many language also. Now we will go through that, and we will let us explain one by one how it works. A scroll bar, checkboxes, drop down menus, etc. HTML forms are required when you want to collect some data from the site visitor. For example, during user registration, you like to collect the information such as name, email address, credit card, billing address, shipping address, or many things we can collect, a male or female. A form will take an input from the site visitor and then will post it back in applications such as CGI, ASP script or a PHP script, etc. The backend application will perform a required processing on the parsed database and defined business logic inside the application. Here, when we filled up with the form, when we go to the main projects, we can see once the user filled the form, it will take up to a database. Or when we created the PHP script, it will take a database server and it will be shown as for the backend user. There are various form elements available like text fields, text area fields, drop down menus, radio buttons, check boxes, etc. We will see one by one which are the form elements. HTML form tag is used to create an HTML form, and it has the following syntax. Here you can see form action, script URL, method, get or post, form elements like input, text area, and the close form. What are the form attributes? Here you can see a form attributes as an action, method, and another two type called a target, end type. End type, it is used when attributes specify how the browser encodes the data before sending it to the server. Action, backend script ready to process the parsed data. And method is used to the upload data. The most frequently used are the get and post method. We can get easily when you type a password, the get method, when we give in a form action script URL method, when we go to a get and we will input as a password, when we keep method as a get, the password as displayed as it is, like password will be displayed. When we put method as a post, it will be displayed as a encrypted type. Target, specify the target window or frame where the result of the script will be displayed. It takes a value like blank, self, parent, etc. Now let's see HTML form controls. There are different types of form controls that you can use to collect data using an HTML form. Text input controls, checkboxes, radio box, select box, file select, hidden, clickable, submit and reset button. Let's see one by one. Text input controls. In text input controls, there are 3 different ways: single line text, password input and a multi-line text. Single line input, this control is used to an item that require only one user input, such as a search boxes or a names. They created using the input tag. Single input, for example, we can tell entering a name. When we are form filling, we can enter a name, that is a single input form, or we can search bar, search boxes, that is a single input, single line text input. And a password input, as obviously you know, password typing. Multi-line text input, multi-line text means it like a description. Easily we can say in a description, like we are entering in a description, like when you are filling the form, there type name, registration number, roll number, what is your description. That can be used as a multi-line text input controls. Here is an example. You can see created body, form, first name, input type text, name, first name. Here you will give an input type as a text, because that want to display to user also. And name is the first name. First name, the name has been given, and break, last name, yeah, same input type as text. And attributes of the single line text: type, name, value, size, max length. We can specify there also. We can specify size. We can specify the maximum length where the character how much must be used, and the value inside the box inside the single text box. We can the name, type. Next, here you can see there is 2 ways: the password and the multi-line. Next, we go to the password input control. This is also a single line text input, but it masks the character as soon as the user enters it. They are also created using a HTML input tag, but type attribute is set to a password. The input type has set to be a password, because when we input type set to be a password, there when we enter it encrypted type, it will show in a encrypted type. You have seen many form filling, or you have seen in many registrations also. Here in a basics example, here you can see a password input type password, name, password, and same attribute. Here you can also specify which type, name, value, size and maximum length. The size must be a should, and maximum length should be a 10 password, a 10 minimum value we can specify. And multi-line text input control, yes, I have told like a description we can enter. Here also the rows 5, columns 5, name, description, enter description here. That will when we enter that will enter, and my data will be entered. Next, checkbox control. Checkboxes are used when more than one option is required to be selected. They are also created using an HTML input tag, but type attribute is set to checkbox. When we want to select one or more options, like I am interested in a maths and physics, or I am interested in English and any other language, so the checkbox will be used. because single checkbox is used as another value. We can use a checkbox for the many values, many options should be selected. And here input type has been given like a checkbox. Here you can see input type checkbox, name, maths, value on. Because value on, the checkbox must be shown, the right tick mark will be appeared. And input type checkbox, name, physics, value on, same attribute. Here's also type, which type, the input type will be a checkbox, name, the value, and the checked, set to the checked if the quality is set by a default. Radio button control. Radio buttons are used when out of many options, just one option is required to be selected. When you have to select a single option, the radio button options has been used here. They are also created using an HTML input tag, but type of attribute is radio. Input type is radio. You can see maths, input type radio, name, subject, value, maths. Input type radio, subject, value, physics. Here we will select, in maths and physics we will select one. Save attributes, type, set it to a radio, name, value, and status if checked or what. Select box control. A select box, also called as a drop down box, which provides an option to list down various options in the form of a drop down list, from where user can select one or more options. It will be displayed, whereas in checkbox and in radio button we have to select. It will be displayed one by one. Example, here is an example. Option value, maths, selected maths, option value, physics, option. And here is the attributes of the, and here is the attributes of a select box. Name, size, and multiple. Multiple used to select multiple check boxes and multiple items in the menu. File upload box, and it is used to upload any file, any picture, or any make sure a document .word document .pdf or any resume we can upload with that. So this was used. If you want to allow a user to upload a file to your website, you will need to use a file upload box, also known as a file select box. This is also created using the input element, but type attribute is set to a file. The similar thing in any radio button, a checkbox, or many other, the input type, input name will be changed. Input file, input type, file name, file upload, accept is equals to image. We can specify which form of which document, or the extension file is HTML or extension file is a .docs should accept. It will automatically taken. And attributes, name and accept. Button controls. There are various ways in HTML to create a clickable buttons. You can also create a clickable button using an input tag by setting in its attribute to button. The type attribute can take in the following values: submit, reset, button, image, etc. You can see here I have posted an image down and it has been cropped like that. Input type submit, input type reset, input type button, input type image. When we click on a submit, it will submit. When we click on a reset, it will reset. When we click on a OK, the values entered will be taken. And when we click on an image, it will refresh. And there are hidden form controls. Hidden form controls are used to hide data inside the page, which later on can be pushed to the server. This controls hides inside the codes and does not appear on the actual page. For example, following hidden form is being used to keep the current page number. When user click to the next page, then the value of a hidden control will be sent to a web server. There it will be decided which page will be displayed the next based on the passcode current page. Here we can see, we can when entering into any web page, it will be automatically redirect to any next page. So these are like any hidden form controls. And some example. And this session we have seen a form elements, font size, backgrounds, many more. Background with images, colors, how to set a colors and color coding methods, fonts, what are the font size, one is the smallest and 7 is the largest, setting a font size, their base font. And next we have seen a forms. There are a different type of forms, controls, text input, checkbox, radio button, select, file, and many more. Attributes, hidden form controls, etc. Next we will work on a many more concept in next session.